Because all you have belongs to the Lord, foundational to stewardship, a couple things for you. Because it's all His, number one, you can invest long term. You can be at peace investing long term. Day traders do day trading because they are looking to quickly grow something that they believe to be theirs. At the core of that concept, which we do not recommend, is holding your money like this. Trying to gain a little bit more today. I'll hold something for 2 or 3 months and then I'll sell it at a profit. That concept is not rooted in the sure foundation of believing that everything belongs to God. Long-term investors, on the other hand, that's the strategy that we put forth, they can exhibit patience, steadfastness, long-suffering, sometimes painfully seeing stocks go up and down. We saw this with the major indices. They were riding 9-week wins to end the year, and then this past week to open the year, they kind of tanked. You're riding out those ups and downs evenly, even-keeled. Long-term investors can do this because they understand that their money does not belong to them. They're to take care of it because they know someone else owns it. You can take care of it because you know that someone else owns it, that person being the God of the universe. Because it's all His, number one, you can invest long term. Number two, you are free from fearing gains and losses. This is an important one. Remember, Shanna has mentioned this several times. In fact, she mentioned it last week. You only experience gain or loss financially when you cash out. When you take those profits. That's the only time you actually do experience it. Even if it's way down, there's the chance that it can come back up. And then that loss turns into a potential gain. Another huge mark in favor of long-term investing. When we realize, friends, that we are stewards and not owners, we're not afraid of losses. Of course, we use wisdom, but we can be at peace knowing that our money has not actually diminished or increased. The numbers have and the potentials have of if we were to pull it out at that moment, say, when it's really far down, then it has decreased. But it gives us peace to know, okay, you know what? I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of the gains and the losses. I understand that it all belongs to God anyway. Because it's all His, you can invest long-term. You are free from fearing gains and losses. You must prioritize obedience to God before financial growth. That's number 3. You must prioritize this. We here at the ministry want you to be blessed by God for obeying Him more than we want you to gain massive amounts of worldly wealth. We would love it if every single one of our partners had testimony after testimony of how they were up 200, 300, 500, 700%. Many of you have been successful doing this because it's a strategy that works, and that's great. But ultimately, we want you, and we want you to want this for yourself as well. We want you to obey God first. That means, like Dan mentioned earlier in the show, you're not going to put your money into something that might be really financially lucrative, but is supporting things that are wicked. It's better to take the financial hit than to be disobedient to God, is what I'm saying. I want you to make the sacrifice for the far better reward, because there's a far better reward, and that's pleasing God. You can invest long-term. You are free from fearing gains and losses. You must prioritize obedience to God before financial growth. And finally, because it's all His, you will be taken care of. You will be taken care of because God loves His children. God is a loving Father, and He doesn't leave His children without their needs met. And remember this as well, folks, that God does bless obedience. And He does it in the way that He chooses to. So as you begin this new year, I want you to remember that it is all His. Stewardship, holding responsibility, taking care of something that you do not own, that thing being everything that you have which belongs to the Lord. Be a good steward. Treat it as if it were your own with the same intensity while knowing that it is not your own, that it belongs to God.